South Africa's unemployment rate improved marginally by 0.7% to 31.7% in the third quarter. Now, the number of employed persons has hit 16.7 million, which is higher than the 16.4 million recorded before the COVID-19 pandemic. For more on this conversation, we are now joined by Dr. Laura Fisher, an educational expert at Boston City campus. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us this evening. The official unemployment, or rather unemployment numbers, have decreased to 0.7%. Yes, this is a drop in the ocean, but is this an indication that we're moving in the right direction?
I guess, first of all, good evening. And then just to answer your question, there is a downward trend here, but it truly is not enough when we consider the magnitude of the unemployment rate still across our country.
Let's maybe start off by taking a look at the educational sector in South Africa. What are some of those that you could highlight as systemic issues that we need to be cognizant of when speaking in relation to the unemployment rate?
I think that our youth unemployment rate is still staggeringly high. So if we're to consider some of the key systemic issues that are sort of feeding into this from the educational sector, I think there's probably five key systemic issues that I see. The first is that there remains inequality in access to quality education. So the education system in South Africa perpetuates social and economic inequalities due to the disparity in the quality of education between historically disadvantaged and well-resourced schools, which creates this kind of ongoing cycle of poverty that we know all too well in South Africa. I think poor infrastructure and resourcing still remains a really big systemic problem. High dropout rates, factors such as poverty, inadequate social support, and limited career opportunities are all contributing to these high dropout rates. I think the ongoing issue around funding for education and the reality that our education system in South Africa is underfunded, with a significant portion of our education funding going towards administrative costs rather than improving the quality of education, which really brings me to my fifth point, and that is that we are looking at a staggering lack of qualified teachers in this country. So we've got a massive shortage of qualified and experienced teachers, especially in rural and remote areas. An astounding article published by the Daily Investor on the 17th of October this year indicated that only 55% of South African teachers performed at the same level as grade 4 children internationally. This is just untenable. There's a severe lack of suitably qualified teachers and a shortage of new teachers in the pipeline. So our country just can't afford to lose another generation of learners by not giving them key capabilities to complete their primary and basic, or their basic education, and then move into the TVET space, the technical vocational space, or into the higher educational space. So, there's still a lot of major systemic issues in education in South Africa, from my view.
So, Doc, if you're raising all of these issues, the lack of resources, the lack of good quality teachers that should be coming into the educational system, how then are our learners or young people in this country going to take advantage of any opportunities that AI would then present for them to be able to ready themselves for the world of AI and the future of work?
Yeah, I think that it's a bit of a jump in conversation in terms of looking at the key systemic issues in education and then moving into the space of AI, because actually AI and the online space really is actually a leveraging point for us in education, because AI and online education is actually providing more quality education than ever before. And with the rise of online educational facilities and support centers, Boston Online Home Education, and other, such facilities which are offering really high quality accredited school training with either the IEB or with Cambridge or with Cognia, which is an organization that Boston Online Home Education is accredited with, which certifies 36,000 schools and systems across the United States and around the world. We're looking actually at an opportunity here, just to highlight that before I jump into your question, which is how do we then prepare our youth for the opportunities in an AI world. So first of all, AI is actually giving us more opportunity in that there's online schooling options available, and then preparing our youth for employment in this AI world. Well, when they're studying online or when there's more leveraging of educational technology, then we're really able much more adequately to teach around fostering critical thinking and problem-solving skills, to prepare for an automated job market, encouraging creativity and innovation for future roles in design, marketing, entrepreneurship, providing exposure to AI and its potential applications, and encouraging continuous learning and social and emotional skills and an entrepreneurial mindset that really will set our young people up for success within this new kind of AI environment. Of course, we never can forget that we need to prioritize the STEM subjects and STEM education really to prepare for job opportunities in the emerging sciences, technologies, engineering, and maths. And the demand for jobs in these fields, particularly within South Africa, make it crucial for schools to incorporate STEM education into their curricula to prepare students for the opportunities that present themselves.
So while we are readying students for the world of AI, are employers also readying their companies as well to be able to bring in this cohort of young people who will be leading within the world of AI?
I think that there is increasingly a recognition of the massive advantage that augmented intelligence is offering us in terms of taking away some of the more mundane and administrative roles and allowing us to really play to our strengths, which is our humanness. And I would say that the business sector and government is really starting to see that there's a crucial role that they play in readying themselves for this new generation, alpha generation, which is really AI literate. And when we think about AI, rather than thinking about it as either a demon or a glorified thing, but rather as a tool in our hands that really gives us opportunity as we move into the workspace, I think workplaces are becoming much more reciprocal to these sorts of skills that we bring in, our humanity, our creativity, our innovation, and then taking some of the burdensome administrative roles and the more mundane and automating it for efficiency and scalability's sake. So yes, I think there's a nice blend of opportunity there and a leveraging of the opportunity that AI presents.
Most certainly. Dr. Fisher, thank you so much for your time this evening. It's always wonderful to have you on the show. That was Dr. Laura Fisher, an educational expert at Boston City Campus.